Well, the shrub growing business began with the kids, and they started growing azaleas and juniper and that type of thing for the store. They had a choice of either going to the berry fields and picking berries or starting their own nursery. So they started what was called the Little Bigej nursery. And that proceeded on for 12 or at least 12 years.
When Dad says we started, he started, we were the labor.
No, their mother was the boss. She was the chief cook and bottle washer. Pretty soon, they were growing more than the store could use. We had one store then, so we had to start wholesaling some along the side. And this money that they made for that was their college education, and all four of them went to college of choice and paid their own way through school. We never put up any money at all for their education. They paid for the whole thing. So that's how we got into the shrub business. Whether we wanted it or not, we got in for necessity.
So we used to grow 15-gallon trees. We would get them in bare root and plant them at the store, right behind the store, and grow them. And then as the season went and we sold out what was on the retail floor, we would bring those up front. Dad was out wandering around, as he always is, out venturing, and someplace across the United States he saw this new technique of how to grow things. And it's where you take an empty pot and you bury it in the ground. You take a plant or tree, pot it in another pot, and stick it in that initial pot that's in the ground. And he said, we should try this. Well, I had just moved out to a place with a little bit of property just outside of Canby. And like Dad said, growing up, we always had things to do. Dad always had projects for us, and I was bored. And so he said, well, you got property, let's put it in there. And so that's what we did. We started putting it in, started small, started a half acre, and increased it to an acre, and eventually built it up to 3 acres out of my place before we moved out here.
All of our trees are started out here. I'm trying to make sure of that, but very close to everything is started out here. We buy a unfinished tree and pot it up and grow it from 1 to 3 years and then sell it on. The reason for this is to get a good established root system. If you just dig it, sell it to the customer, some of them are successful and some aren't. This way we have a good established root system. They took it out, put it in the ground. It's extremely difficult to make a mistake. So that is why we have gone to the pot and pot.
We grow all of our fruit trees. We grow
all
the shade trees.
Right. Take that up to 100.
A lot of the evergreens,
right.
There's quite a few.
Right.
Most of the trees that we sell, we grow out.
Al likes selling fruit. He sold a lot of bananas.
It's Al's fruit stand.
It's Al's fruit stand is where it started, and that's where it stayed as far as Dad was concerned. He pretty much let me run the plant side, and he ran the fruit side. I love crepe myrtle. I'm a crepe myrtle type guy. Yeah.
I would say shade trees, and in particular, I love the red maples. Something about, I love pruning them, getting them to the shape you want, and then seeing the color in the fall is spectacular.
And having the deer chew the bark and rub the bark off them with their antlers, and they're a lot of fun.
So we grow over 85% of the trees and shrubs that we sell, from small ones up to large ones. As you can see, we're quite diverse here, and we're extremely proud of the quality of product that we can grow.